First of all, because it's in Mexico, and Mexican people have this genuine ability to pamper people, to look after people. It's coming from the heart, and that means a lot, and that's very genuine. Okay, first thing. Second thing, property has been built 21 years ago with a unique concept in the way that you have corridors and tunnels below the resort. So for today, with about 105 keys, with 550 associates, 550 staff working in Las Ventanas, but you don't see them because they work below the property and they just pop up where they are supposed to pop up, right? And so when you walk in the resort, it's same as walking in a village, right? And you don't see anybody. And it's a real adventure, kind of Mexican adventure, to walk around the property and to go from surprises to surprises. But the hotel has been built like an amphitheater, in a way that every single room, wherever it is, have always a stunning view on the ocean. But of course, what I like about Las Ventanas is it doesn't tell you the story in one time. Means you arrive at the hotel, you have this very iconic reception, you pass, you have a beautiful view, but it doesn't tell you the whole story. Then you walk in the village and suddenly you see, oh, that's the beach, that's the adult pool, that's the restaurant, that's another restaurant. There is a special zip code for the villas, and when you walk along the villas, it's very, very nice. What is this gate? Oh, that's the Taiwan mansion. And you enter the Taiwan mansion, it's a very small pass. It looks very, very small compared to the price we're charging for, right? But you arrive in a vertical garden and say, 360-degree vertical garden, we've never seen that. Then you have the view, and the whole Las Ventanas is really, I like to say, is expect the unexpected, because it doesn't tell you the story in one time. It's a succession of wow factor everywhere you go. 350 days of sun a year. I think that's more than enough, right? It's a guarantee. I would say to the British customers, don't come in September, because in September is more the stormy weather. That the months we may have the 10 days of rain here, and it's okay if you come from the US for 2 days. You can reschedule your weekend. But when you come such a long way for a week, most of the time, you don't want to take the risk. So we're happy not to see any visitors from UK in September, but from October to August, come any time of the year, any time of the year, yeah. And we have a 99.9% guarantee of nice weather. Cabo is a true desert experience, but for travelers it's interesting because it's a different desert. It's a different desert than the one you have if you go to Marrakesh, you have the Sahara, it's a desert. If you go to Abu Dhabi or Dubai, it's another desert. The dunes are different, the sand is different. If you go to Arizona, it's another one. And the one in Cabo in Baja California is interesting because you have so many incredible cactus, but also this kind of dry vegetation, these dry trees we call the torote trees. And the torote trees look like dead trees. However, as soon as it rains, small leaves comes almost instantly. 24 hours after a small rain, for a couple of days you can get green leaves and then they disappear. So what I always recommend when you come to Cabo for a week to spend at least one day, we work with a very special company and they do some ATV or a race tour. It's not about having fun, driving fast. It's about taking the vehicles with a guide and really driving not only on the beach, but moving and driving inside a canyon, going up in the mountains, going in small villages, and discovering not only the beautiful beach of Baja, but also the inside Baja. And that's a very unique experience. Taiwan, who owns the hotel, is passionate about not only about the hotel, but also about art. And Mexican people are incredible artists, incredible artisans. And since I arrived in the hotel, and also before, but especially since I arrived with the new type when I mentioned the new villas, with now the new restaurant Arbor, I've been traveling all around Mexico, from Chiapas to Oaxaca to Michoacan, Morelia, all the small villages around the lake of Pascuaro, in order to go and visit those villages, because it's very funny in Mexico in a way that one village becomes specialist in one art. So for example, you have this black ceramic called Bajo Negro. It's one village next to Oaxaca. Two other villages next to Oaxaca will be specialized in making alebrije. The alebrije are this kind of mystic dragons that you find in the movie, in the Disney movie Coco, right? If you watch Coco, you understand what alebrije is about. And those alebrije are two villages in Mexico. One is specialized in small alebrije. The other village opposite Oaxaca is specialized in huge alebrije. And so we've been curating arts and artists from all around Mexico. And not only we have them in the mansion, in your residences, in our rooms, but we also have two shops with Café del Arte, and we have Galeria de Textil. So we have the best of the Mexican art in the property, and we are doing sustainable trade with them in a way that we guarantee that every single piece of art we have in the property are bought directly to the artist, and we're not doing huge margin. We're here to help, and we're here to promote and to make them living. If you take the Tenango, for example, this handmade embroidery textile from a small village, 2 hours, 3 hours drive from Mexico City. We're working with a couple of families, and you have 3, 4, 5, 6 families in Tenango who 100% depends on Las Ventanas to live. If you go to Chiapas, in the small village around San Cristobal, same thing. You have a couple of cooperative, or ladies cooperative, only work with Las Ventanas. And we buy everything they produce. They produce for us, for rooms, for restaurants, but at the same time for shops and for clients. If you take another example, back to Tenango, every single piece of bed runners, tablecloths we have in the property, in our restaurants, for example, they're available in the shop. But if a client comes and says, look, this is very nice, but my dining table at home is much longer and much wider, we order from the village. They have to be patient. It will take 3-4 months, and 4 months later we'll be able to send them the product to their home. It's a Katrina made of wood with human scale, and I had the privilege to be able to design the dress, so the carved dress and all the colors of the dress, and it's at the moment currently available. It hasn't been purchased yet in the Café del Arte. The 550 associates of Las Ventanas makes the experience. It's worth it in a way that I know it's a long way from UK. However, if everything goes well, within less than a year, we will have a direct flight from UK. And this has been announced, and I'm very confident that's going to happen. That will be the first direct flight from Europe directly to Cabo. It's going to change the whole picture, and they're going to make it so much easier. However, to all your travelers, I want to remind something. So many British people go to Bali, and I used to work in Bali, When you go to Bali, you fly 12 hours and a half, 13 hours based on the wind to Singapore. Then you change the airport, you change the flight to another 2 hours, 3 hours in Singapore. Then you have another 2 hours and a half flight to go to Bali. And you have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of British people going to Bali every year. When you're going to Cabo today, whether you go through LA, but even better through Mexico City, you fly only 10 hours and a half to Mexico City. You change 2 hours, and it's only an hour and a half flight from Mexico City. So it's shorter to come to Cabo than to go to Bali. And the experience you have in Cabo is absolutely unique. It's about dessert, it's about this luxurious service, but not luxury is not the right word. It's about this genuine service, surrounding, a bit like in Bali, surrounding by hundreds of people who genuinely wants you to be happy, wants you to enjoy your holidays and make sure you have the best possible experience.